Hello, welcome back to Freebie Friday, where we look at free games on Steam. This is a new game called Seven Groves. It's all about, bringing back to life the special fire. It's done by a indie developer from Amsterdam, I think. His whole idea was the whole concept of the game is to find 7 groves, 7 gardens. This is garden number 1. This is the fire that we have to bring back to life. One of the complaints is that the game doesn't really tell you what to do, and so you've got to collect these little items, and by collecting them you press the left mouse button. Most people don't realise that, as they kind of blend into the environment, and they don't collect if you run into them. So gamers have just been walking around this magical place, not knowing what to do. One of the other, I'm just going to go around and collect 3 of them, so that we can get to the second gun. One of the other complaints is that people feel motion sickness, and I must confer that I'm also one of those that get motion sickness from this game. I think it's a lot to do with the head bobbing, and I've turned the sound down, but there's chanting goes on in the background, and that can get on your nerves if you're stuck or you don't know what to do, you're lost. It just gets grating and irritating after a while. So there are a couple of minor complaints, I guess. The whole concept of this is that each garden is kind of inspired by a Dutch painter known as Vincent Van Gogh. I guess this is something similar to Starry Night. Looking at his various paintings, and the gardens or the landscapes are to try and put his 2D landscapes onto a 3D sort of world. I don't know why these cattails keep going into the ground and out. So basically the idea is to get a code. It's based on sound. The code's elsewhere. I'll show you where that is. But basically it's blue or purple, whatever. Green again. White. And yellow, and it's timed, so you have to do it within a certain amount of time, and then again left click to collect the special icons that you need. Again, the game doesn't tell you that. You got to work that out for yourself. I thought those furry piranha type plants look like they're from Mario 64. Where's the plumber when you need him? I'll show you where the code is, so you can see how you're supposed to work out what to do. This level got on my nerves. All the bobbing up and down. So blue, green, white, yellow. So that's basically all you do. So that was our second garden, and all we can do is return. Now the other problem is nothing you do in this game has a long-lasting effect. So that portal is now closed. To reopen it, I would have to find 3 more runes, and it kind of makes the whole idea what you're doing here as trivial. Because your involvement in the game has no long-lasting effect at all. So this is why I say the Starry Night. We're still in this first garden. We've gone back to the first garden. This is part of the first garden. So that's one thing. And because it's trivial, look, I'm not learning anything from it. It would be nice if each landscape had a book or something and told me a bit about the painting or the landscape or the painter himself, but there's no knowledge, nothing like this. This is more of an Easter Island type of garden. So this is garden number 3. There's 3 runes here to pick up. One's here. And the landscapes are pretty, and I would assume that this is the only point of the game, is basically to get some nice screenshots for wallpapers for your Steam profile or something along those lines. Again, very, very pretty. Basically, it's just they're normal trees, just filtered. I'll show you that at the end, and again, I will show you who the developer is at the end of the game. Now, if I was to put a icon in one of the bays, it would stay there, but it's only when you go through a portal door and back out of the portal door, the thing closes and you have to refine the stuff that you're missing. Now, there's quite a few hidden in this background area, so I'm just going to see. You can stumble upon them. So I'm just going to grab a couple. I need 2 or 3. I don't know if there's a limit on how many you can collect. The game doesn't have an ending. Believe it or not, another thing. Again, no long-lasting effect. And even when you do reanimate the fire, it doesn't do anything than fire. That's it. It doesn't change the night sky, no nature comes in, you don't beautify. And I think that's the problem, is that my involvement isn't really making it any better. It's already a pretty landscape. I'm not making it any prettier. I'm not, and there's no adding of artwork or textural statues or anything along that line. There's no nature being added, like butterflies or flying jellyfish or whatever, which would fit in nicely. There's no flowers, no greater sparkles or anything. There's just nothing. So we found 3 gardens. The Easter garden was the 3rd garden. What you might not know, and this is where people get lost, is there's a secret passage just down here. This is where I got the 2 blue icons at the very start of the game. I've got one right here. There's a little hole in the wall, and if you go through the hole, you'll come across 3 more gardens, which will give us 6. So basically we go down into this underground cavern and we come across an underground, sort of like a mushroom world. Now in previous plays you can actually go down in those sort of areas. The game has changed over time. The developer has a YouTube channel, but it's not popular. There's only 3 subscribers. He mainly uses his Twitter feed, and from his Twitter feed you can see examples of how the game has changed over time, and I'll make a bit of a compilation so that you can see that. He also shows a bit of the filter aspects, because people have stated that he's been using AI to create this game, but he assures that it's hand drawn or done by himself. And now we come to garden number 5. We're in a winter landscape, and all I can suggest here is just stick to the left. You want to pick up 2 to start the next portal, which is in this area, and you'll need another 2 afterwards to start the last portal, and of course the fire. If you ever need to bring up your inventory, it's I, and that will show you what runes you're missing. So you can see the bobbing up and down. It particularly got on my nerves on the very second garden that we came across, because again it was hostile. It didn't really show me what to do, and I had no idea. But it's just missing that extra element. like let's say deers running around or something along those lines. And I felt the chanting was a bit over the top. It would have been nicer as more, not as loud as what it originally played. I'm sure you can turn it down and all that, but I like to play it as the developer intended. But I honestly felt that it was too much. And I'm going to show here, I'm going to turn the sound up so you can hear it. As well-meaning as that sound is, because the game doesn't tell you what to do, and you can quite easily get lost and not, running around in a circle, which actually is what this. I think there's only 2 here. There might be 3, but you only need 2. Just follow the path, basically, on this one. The path does a big circle, and it goes round to the back side of the portal that you came through. Basically, there is an offshoot where you can go up the top here, and there'll be another rune for you to pick up. There's a pathway on the other side, I think, but again, it just goes back to the portal from where you are. There's again that Starry Night Sky sort of fireworks. Look, everything's very pretty. Again, if you have a look at the Steam page, you'll see a lot of people have taken very nice photos, screenshots, and that's predominantly all there is to the game, to screenshot it. I don't think there's any achievements from memory. So that was garden number 6. We only have one more garden to go through. The last garden is we've got to go back to Easter Island. To get there, we're going to have to pick up 2 more runes in this, so again, follow the left-hand side. The last garden seems to be inspired from Alice in Wonderland, or it gives that sort of vibe. I kind of got that vibe off the the second garden with the cattails in the air as well. The gardens and the landscape seems to, the developer himself admits it's Vincent Van Gogh, but there seems to be an Alice in Wonderland vibe a little bit here too. I think it would have been interesting as well if he picked 7 different painters and did a landscape from each painting, and you get to those landscapes through linking books. And the book itself told you a bit about the landscape, or a bit about it would have made it a bit more meaningful. Again, if the portal stayed open, and if there was an ending, credits, he could have showed the compilation, a little compilation video showing, how the landscapes have changed over time, something rewarding for the players, but none of that exists. So even though this developer, who's just a hobby developer, he's good at creating his atmosphere and visualizing, and he's good at being in creative mode, but he seems to be lacking a little bit in empathy for the gamer itself. He doesn't put himself in the gamer's mind. He's so stuck in creative mode. Also, very little feedback from the developer himself when it comes to customer feedback. I messaged the developer myself, no replies, same as everyone else, so stating it's a dead dev who doesn't no positive feedback towards the customer, no interaction whatsoever, and that's sad. That's you need that if you're going to be a good developer. And I was very respectful in my email. I thanked him and everything else. Didn't reply. And basically all I asked him is there an ending somewhere? Are you intending to add an ending? Because, after you've done the fire, it's like, well, what do I do now? So as you can see, all the skies lit up when we do start a fire. I don't know if that intensifies. Again, it's not obvious. Yeah. And it would be nice if there was an option so that you could turn the head bobbing off, because that really, really made me sick. And maybe if we, after going to each garden, we added something to that garden, we put our own personal touch in there, we brought it to life a little bit more. After all, what's the purpose of finding the gardens if our interaction isn't adding anything? And so here we have the Alice in Wonderland. This is a maze. I hate mazes. This is a pretty hostile maze as well. I'll try and get through it as quickly. On the side here is another rune you can pick up though. That people might miss. Not that it's required, there's enough runes inside the maze, but just showing you that there's one here. I don't know how big this particular place is. I don't want to venture too off because the portal that you go through leads straight to the entrance of the maze and so forth. So once you go through, you want to go on the left hand side, and you want to keep following it down until you get to this brick wall. Follow the brick wall around, and we're going to go back in, and nope, not down there. Come down here and go back down into this area, and then down into this wall here. Follow it around, and now we're going to cut inwards on the right hand side. And if you see this here, that means you're going the right way. So that little sort of leaf, that means you're on the right track. And we're going up and back down again into the no, sorry, I missed. Going into the wall and then back down onto this side. And just follow around. And now we go back inwards again, and that should be heading towards I think it's the right hand side and then left. And this will take us to the entrance of the center of the maze. And I thought this was a bit lackluster for an ending. Like, this garden should be the best of them all. And all it is rose bushes. I thought there should be artwork, there should be water, there should be something there, but none of that exists. I mean, that's the pinnacle. That's you kind of have to do them in order too. The where you put the runes, so the very first one with the cattails, and then the second one is the Iceland sort of place that you've got a portal into, and then you get some stones from that portal to come to this one. Now you just got to backtrack. You can get lost. It's easy, and this can get on people's nerves. No, lost again. Sorry. Trying to get out. And here we go. One in, and now we come back into the second room here, and the next one should be, miss that one, and this one should be the exit, and just go straight ahead. Oh, hit my head on the head. Need some Panadol. I forgot I need to activate, use 2 runes to activate. And the last rune should be... so I should have enough now. As I said, if you press I, you can see. So I've got 1 rune of each symbol. So I can start the fire. Now, when you start a fire, the fire is made up of, I think, 7 or 8. Each rune is a flame to the fire, the great fire. So every time you put a rune in, one of the black flames turns white. And after you put all the runes in, they all turn white. But again, nothing happens, and it doesn't take you to end credits or take you back to the beginning. All you can do is exit. The game will save there, I guess. But again, there's nothing to do other than start the game again. Exit and go back. You can collect more runes, I guess, and open up the portals, but nothing's going to happen. And when you go through the portal and come back through the portal, it closes off again. So again, nothing you do is of any long-lasting benefit. So there we go. We found the 7 gardens. We're just going to light up the fire that we started the game at. And then we'll look at the dev. So here you'll start putting them in. And if you look at the fire, you'll see it go from black to white. Just got 1 more to go in. See, half of it's white, and the last couple is turning white now. And that's it. The whole thing's white and nothing to do. It doesn't do anything. You can't walk into the fire. There's no credits, nothing. Developer isn't replying. And that's sad. It feels superficial. Nice. Take some nice screenshots, but that's all you can do with the game. Okay. So this is it, done 1st of June 2024 by rainy Sunday afternoon. It is completely free on Steam. You can play it for yourself if you want. No credits. Explore 7 strange worlds. 7 grows as the labour of love and started life as a graphic demo that was meant to have 3D worlds look like 2D paintings. I've had a lot of comments that the game looks like it has been AI generated, but it is not. The painterly effects are achieved with loads of deferred lights, the creative use of textures, as well as tons of post-processing, including real-time choral filters. I hope you enjoy wondering about these pretty entirely human generated forests as much as I enjoyed making them. Done choral soundtracks and collecting puzzles to unlock areas of the game. One of the most positives, last one, don't understand it, the many colours gave me a headache. This is his webpage. Previous work, Rocket Roy, was an adventure game that also combines... this is done by... these are what people have said about his previous a mobile game. So he did do one mobile game before. It actually got quite a lot of good reviews. And this is what App Advice and Indie Game Reviewer says about his game. And they gave it a good thumbs up. So let's... I've been making games ever since I got a Commodore 64 back in the day, though mostly just as a hobby, a modern day form of arts and crafts, if you will. I like the combination of visual design, drawing, programming, problem solving, game design and sound editing. Of my previous works, I only ever released one game. It was called Rocket Roy and was about flying a little rocket to the other side of the world to meet up with your girlfriend. I released it in 2014 for the iOS. It did reasonably well and got some decent reviews. I did make the mistake of programming the game in Unity's own version of JavaScript, which has now gone defunct, and so updating the game to run on modern versions of iOS will require quite a bit of work. I may resurrect Rocket Roy at some point, but for now I'm focused on making new games. And this is what Rocket Roy looked like. I'll get some demo versions of that so you can see a little bit. As well as pictures are, it doesn't really tell us. I like the trees there on the right hand side. Looks like quite an interesting game. I can see why it had a lot. So this is the, I guess, the season changes of his game, and I guess you were able to make effects on that to some degree. You can see the art style changing of the landscapes. I'm not sure what Rocket Roy actually involved. But I hope one day he resurrects it, and I wouldn't mind checking it out. I like his artistic style. He's a good creator, just hopeless with customer feedback, and a bit of empathy more needed for customers, I think, when making games, putting himself in their shoes. This is Rocket Roy himself. I don't know if this was a endless sort of runner. And that was a principle, but I can't see any obstacles. But I like the artistic style again. This is his YouTube page. Again, only 3 subscribers. He doesn't have anything new on it. He wrote 2 books. He's actually works at the Amsterdam as a tutor for literature. This was what the game originally looked like. So you can see the Vincent Van Gogh definitely there. And this is a collage of what the game used to look like. Again, I like the fact that he added artwork there, statues and that. Why did you take them away? This is what the first level looked like. Is that a waterfall there? That's nice. You can see you could originally walk along the Mushroom Kingdom, I guess. Actually, this looks like a lot better. I want to play that game. Where's those landscapes? This should be part of the credits, to be honest, as an extra reward. That's nice. That was what the Frozen Kingdom used to look like. And he had signs in the game. Why did he take those away? And I like that. That looks nice. And he did have a literature sort of so because he teaches literature to students, that's his main source of income. So I think there could have been more of that to sort of. And this is showing his filter effect. So that's what the trees originally looked like in the game, and that's with him adding filters. And apparently we used to be a woman. This is a very, very early concept from the looks. One of the first basic. My name is Van der Berg. When I was 9 or 10, I bought my first computer. It was a Commodore 64. Making games is not my profession, although I was a computer programmer for a short stint. I studied English language and culture and now teach literature at Teacher Training College here in Amsterdam. In terms of game development, I'd consider myself to be an amateur indie, somebody who makes games for fun rather than a main source of income, and who is self-published. I enjoy making games that are pretty, a bit strange, and combine gameplay with storytelling. I've made games with Commodore Basic on the 64, Amos on the Amiga, SDL and C on the PC, Mac and Linux, and more recently I've enjoyed using Unity and C++. This is the developer himself. Can't really see him here. This is what he looks like in real life. This is him with his beautiful wife. Is that Switzerland? And this is his lovely wife. And these are the kids coming up. So they should be proud of their dad. Their dad has done a pretty good job. This is the developer you're supporting. Hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, bye for now.